Hi everyone, welcome to Educon Community Java interview series. So today we will discuss about modifier. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the classes and objects related interview questions. So if you have not visited, you can go inside the Java interview series playlist and you can watch the videos one by one. So let's start today's session. So what are the two types of modifiers in Java? So as you know, there are two types of modifiers in Java: access modifiers and non-access modifiers. So what are the access modifiers will be your next question. So access modifiers are the keywords in object-oriented programming languages that set the accessibility of the classes and methods and any other members. So they basically control where your class, methods, or variables or any other members can be accessed. So how many access modifiers are there in Java? So there are four access modifiers: public, private, default, and protected. So next is what is the scope of each access modifier? Means where they are accessible. So first one is public. So public members can be accessed anywhere in any class present in in any package. Okay. So like suppose package A, package B, and you have set your uh, members for your programs as public. So they can be accessible from package A to B as well as package B to A. Then default. So default when no modifier is used. So the component has the default accessibility and default classes and members are accessible only within their package. Clear? Next is private. So private members can only be accessible within the class where they are declared. Clear? And protected. So protected members can be accessed within the same package only and also in its subclasses. That subclasses can be in the different package, but uh, in the same package subclasses as well as the different package subclasses, they are accessible. Next is what is the package in Java? So a package is a mechanism to organize the classes, interfaces, subclasses, variables, and other similar functionalities. So it provides a folder structure to make it easier to search and use these components. So suppose package is your building and in your building there are several floors. So building is your package, floors are your sub packages. And in floors there are several flats. So for each flat those are classes. And in each classes there are like in each flats there are several rooms. So those rooms are your subclasses. So inside your rooms there may be some sub rooms or something like that. Those are the objects. How can we access a class outside its package? So to use a class outside of its package, we just need to use the import keyword. So like import com.educoncommunity.oops.class name, like that. So can we declare a top level class as private? No, a top level class can only be declared as the public or default. However, inner classes like classes defined within another class can be declared as private or protected. Okay. So top level class only be public or default. Then which access modifier is the least restrictive and which is the most restrictive? So least restrictive means from anywhere we can access. So public access modifiers can be accessible from any package. That's why those are the least restrictive. And in the same way, most restrictive is private, as those are only accessible within the classes where they have been declared. Then what are the non-access modifiers in Java? Non-access modifiers in Java include static, final, abstract, and synchronized. So static basically specifies whether a member is a class member or an instance member. And if we will set it as the static, then we need not to create any instance for it. We can use it anywhere where those are being used for multiple cases. Like for students, their school name will be same or college name will be same, right? So for that, we can declare that member as the static. Otherwise, what will be happen? Like if that school name will not be declared as the static, then we need to create several instances for each student, and then memory will be used more and more. So memory will be corrupted. Okay. So for better optimization, we use the static there. When we will see that same thing is being used repeatedly, right? So, so static specifies whether a member is a class member or a instance member. Then final. So final restricts the further modifications on a class, method, or a variable. So if we will set the class as final, then we cannot extend it. If it will be method like final method, then we cannot override that method. And if we will set the variable as final, we cannot change the value of it. Okay, those are the restrictions. Then the abstract. So abstract basically marks a class or method as incomplete, requiring further modifications by other classes. So basically we will declare the abstract method with the abstract keyword, right? So those classes are or methods are incomplete. Next is synchronized. So synchronized basically ensures the thread safety in a multi-threaded environment. So if we will set the synchronized, then it will be thread safe in the multi-threaded environment. So I have discussed the non-access modifiers as well, like static, final, abstract, synchronized. Okay. In short, you can also uh, remember it with this. FUS. FUS means A for final, A for abstract, S for static, and again S for synchronized. Okay. And for uh, access modifiers, we can tell you as PPPD, public private protected default. So PPPD and FUS. Next is, can a class or method be abstract and final at the same time? No. Final restricts further modification. Abstract requires further modification. So a class or method cannot be abstract and final at the same time. Those are totally opposite character. So what is an abstract class? So an abstract class is a class declared with the abstract keyword, and it is not fully implemented and cannot be instantiated. So it's not fully implemented and cannot be instantiated. So abstract classes may contain abstract methods. So which are the abstract methods? Those methods without the implementation. So what is an abstract method? Those are the methods declared with the abstract keyword and has no implementation. So it must be overridden in a subclass, and in that way other classes will require for further modification, right? So can we instantiate abstract classes? No. Abstract classes cannot be instantiated because they are not fully implemented. So they are not fully implemented, they are not fully instantiated, right? So can we define an abstract method in a non-abstract class? No. Abstract methods can only be defined in the abstract classes. So can an abstract method be declared as private? No. Abstract methods cannot be declared as private. They must be public, default, or protected because they are meant to be overridden in other classes, as they are not fully implemented, they are not fully instantiated. Further implementations are required by other methods, so they should be public, default, or protected. That's why other classes can uh, use that, and other methods will able to override that. So can we instantiate abstract class? That's I have also already discussed that no abstract classes cannot be instantiated because they are not fully implemented. Next, can we define a top level class as static? So no, the top level class is only applicable to class members, variables, methods, and inner classes, not top level classes. So static keyword is only applicable to class members. Okay, like variables, methods, and inner classes, not top level classes. So that top level classes cannot be static and as well as cannot be final. So if you will make the top level class as final, then any other class cannot use that, right? So why do we define members as static? So that's also I have uh, explained you. Again, I'm reading here. The static keyword is used to define members that are independent of any instance of the class. Static members exist independently of any objects created for the class and can be accessed using the class name, right? So if you have any questions, any concerns, then you can just comment down. Okay. Uh, we will discuss those questions as well if you have any other questions. Otherwise, we are concluding this session. And again, we will discuss about variables and other things in the next session. Thank you, everyone.